Hi everyone, I'm Sarah at Balanced, and today I am here to bust the myth that type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance are caused by eating too much sugar and too many carbohydrates in general. Certainly, sugars exacerbate diabetes, but the origin of the disease is a bit more nuanced. After consuming a fatty meal, fat molecules circulating in the bloodstream move into muscle cells. Once fat collects in those muscle cells, it hinders the ability of insulin to trigger sugar uptake by those cells. As a result, blood sugar remains in the bloodstream and insulin resistance ensues. In addition, the heme iron found in meat damages the pancreatic cells that are responsible for insulin production. This is because heme iron advances oxidative stress. Other empirical evidence points to red meat as a cause of type 2 diabetes. For example, in the Women's Health Study, high consumption of processed red meat was linked to a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Plant-based and plant-forward diets greatly reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes and, in some cases, may even reverse a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. A plant-based, carbohydrate-rich diet is often prescribed to prevent and even treat type 2 diabetes. Evidence emerged back in the 1950s to support the benefits of a high carbohydrate diet to ameliorate high blood sugar. Among people consuming plant-rich diets compared to those following other dietary patterns, type 2 diabetes prevalence is much lower. This evidence directly contradicts the myth that carbohydrates are the dietary origin of type 2 diabetes. Foods that are particularly protective against type 2 diabetes include whole grains, fruits and vegetables, legumes, and nuts. When choosing grains, it is important to focus on 100% whole grain breads, rices, and cereals, as these are the most healthful and have been shown to reduce the risk of diabetes. Fruits and vegetables are always critical to a healthful diet, but certain varieties are especially helpful, including root vegetables, leafy greens, grapes, apples, and blueberries. Finally, it's also important to consume legumes and nuts, such as lentils, beans, and walnuts. Legumes and nuts in particular help to stave off insulin resistance and prevent the occurrence of other diet-related diseases. The great news is that only modest dietary shifts are required to have a big positive impact on disease health. According to one study, replacing just 5% of energy intake from animal source proteins to vegetable source proteins correlates to a 23% reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. That is the power of plants in action. Thank you for watching this week's installment of the Balanced Mythbusters series. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you'll tune in again next week to witness another nutrition myth get busted. Bye everyone!